Welcome to this best practice talk. My name is Dr. Konstantina Martzoukou, and I'm an academic at Robert Gordon University in Aberdeen in Scotland. Today, this talk will be about an online community of practice we're running with an interdisciplinary team, which focuses on higher education students' development of information, media, and digital literacy, and which was developed prior to the global pandemic as a means of engaging academics, librarians, learning and teaching support professionals, and other staff, as well as students, in discussions and creative collaboration around these themes. But before we move on to briefly discussing the values and the activities of the online community, I would like to first introduce you to our team. Kirsten MacCormick, who is an academic librarian at Glasgow Caledonian University in Scotland, Nisa Kararuzaman, who is a master's student in information library studies with previous experience of library-related work, Brennan, who is also an academic librarian at Glasgow Caledonian University, and this year's student committee members, Kezia Bacchus and Alanagh Wilson. In this presentation, you will hear from each one separately as they share their experiences and reflection of collaborating in this online community. In higher education, there is a growing and a continuing interest in issues which relate to students' development of information, digital and media literacy for participating, collaborating, and communicating ethically and responsibly in the digital environment. This places emphasis on experiences from educational contexts, but also from those situated outside students' formal academic experiences, for example, from within everyday life and their working place experiences. Our best practice talk will present an open community of practice that currently engages more than 300 members from the international academic community, OneHE Mindsets, whose value is becoming even more important with the global pandemic as a forum for conversations and debate around the emerging mindsets for the lifelong development of students' information, digital, and media literacy. These literacies are discussed in relation to students' transitions in and out of higher education and on the basis of their value in informed, active, and engaged civic, social, and cultural participation, as well as personal growth and development. Now, I would like to introduce you to our different members who are working in mindsets and the different perspectives and what has motivated us all to take part, briefly discussing the librarian, the academic, and the student perspective. Where you see a speaker icon, I will click on play to play the voiceover recording of each one of the presenters. But before I do that, I would like to give you an overview of my own perspective and why I set up the OneHE Mindsets community. And that was because I wanted to explore information, digital, and media literacy practice with other colleagues beyond my own university and put together an interdisciplinary team. I have been already teaching information and digital literacy to our own students, but I felt that there was lack of awareness of some great work that's taking place beyond my immediate working context. I also wanted to explore students' use of digital tools, their behaviors and their mindsets, and how they interact with digital information and tools within their different interdisciplinary areas, as well as how their previous experiences in everyday life may influence how they do so. I knew from my own students who arrived to my course that they had already developed specific digital mindsets and behaviors. Some of my students had lack of digital connectivity, for example, and they had fewer opportunities to develop digital skills. And this could act as a trigger of digital inequalities, which could become a barrier to students' educational journeys and academic success overall. But now I would like to play the recordings of the other committee members, and we will start with the recordings of Kezia and Alanagh. So let's hear Kezia first.
Hello, my name is Kezia Bacchus. I'm currently reading for a Master's in Library and Information Studies at RGU. I have been an academic librarian for 7 years at the University of Guyana Library. As a student member of Mindsets, it provides a wealth of information that fosters growth for myself as a student and a librarian. The community encourages professional connections and work experience that is needed for the 21st century librarian.
Okay, thank you, Kezia. And now let's hear Alanagh.
Hi, My name is Alanagh Wilson. I am currently a master's student at Robert Borden University. As a student member of the Mindsets community, and especially as someone who is new to the field of information and library studies, Mindsets provides invaluable resources, both in terms of the content that it curates and shares, and in the community that it brings together. There are many opportunities for learning and for keeping up to date with developments in the field of information, digital, and media literacy.
Thank you, Alanagh. So now it's also important to know more about the librarian perspective, and we'll hear the perspectives of Kirsten and Amanda. So let's hear what their experiences have been of working together in Mindsets.
As HE librarians at Glasgow Caledonian University, information and digital literacy is at the heart of our everyday support for students and staff. We're both actively involved in wider professional networks, and being involved in the Mindsets team has provided us with opportunities for international networking and cross-institutional collaboration.
Some key professional benefits for us have included opening up discussions with academics, people from industry, students, and others beyond our own institution and the library profession through the member discussion list, social media, and events.
It has also offered the freedom and creativity to design and organise events of interest and cross boundaries between academia, libraries, and the workplace.
And it's given us the chance to engage with researchers and practitioners, creating a space to consider and share ideas on how we can incorporate research into our own practice.
Thank you, Kirsten and Amanda. And this year we have been very privileged to have our student committee members work on a project that explored research around the key themes and areas of interest for the community. So here, Kezia and Alanagh are exploring the issue of peer-mediated learning, shadow module, communities of practice, and partnership and collaboration. Let's hear Kezia and Alanagh.
Peer-mediated learning through peer teaching or collaborative peer learning has proven to be an effective method as a collaborative peer-mediated learning activities aid in the development of meaningful learning methods and nurture communities of practice in learning. The shadow module happens in addition to traditional academic instructions, shadowing the teacher-led lessons and facilitates cooperation between students to support their learning. For that module, students work together to curate existing online resources and create their own resources to support their study of the material. These resources can take the form of discussions, sites, tools, study guides, tips, etc. The resources are shared with peers through communication technologies and Web 2.0 tools so that each student can access them. This shadow module technique allows students to be more engaged with the material and improves collaborative skills and digital literacy. The use of collaborative technologies also allows for the involvement of the entire learning community, including passive individuals who would rather observe than actively engage. Digital competency and collaboration in learning communities begin with teachers who are themselves competent and can thus foster this in students.
Communities of practice can be considered as groups of people who share a concern or a passion for something they do, and they learn how to do it better as they interact regularly. In these communities, learning is more than just the process of internalising knowledge. Here, learning is situated in real-world situations, and it is enhanced as the individual grows into the membership of the group. Growing numbers of people and organisations are turning to communities of practice to improve their performance. In organisations, they are used for strategic management of knowledge as an asset and to build resilience from shared experience. Attached to an educational setting, communities of practice challenge the notion of a school or institution as a closed system of learning. They can act as a bridge, a link, or a part of a much broader learning landscape. These communities also create and encourage opportunities for partnerships and collaboration between any combination of members.
Okay, thank you, Kezia and Alanagh. And now it is also important to hear the perspective of the postgraduate student working in Mindsets and what it means in terms of experiential learning. So let's hear the perspective of Nisa.
Mindsets provides wide range of opportunities for postgraduate students who wish to gain experience in applying the theories we read and learned in the classrooms into practice. You also have the opportunity to work with some of the best minds in the field of information and digital media literacy. Through Mindsets, my fellow interns and I were able to observe real-world scenarios on how information and digital media literacy are being delivered in an academic and other settings. We've also had the opportunity to take some of the theories and experiment some new ideas. For example, in one of the webinars, we introduced a fireside chat where presenters and audience were able to exchange ideas in a more casual manner. This is something that we try to replicate in our other events where possible. With Mindset, I've improved my research skills, information organization skills, presentation skills, teamwork, and networking. With this ample opportunity to learn and experience new things, I stayed on with Mindset, and now I'm part of the organizing committee. I encourage other students to join this community of practice, and you will not regret it.
Thank you very much, Nisa, for this perspective. So this leads us nicely on to the events we have organized, and you can see here how we have collated a number of different projects, and you can see resources from around the world addressing the themes of focus for the community. And we also organized different online events, which so far have attracted more than 300 sometimes people who have attended the sessions from the international learning community to showcase work, discuss opportunities, and engage in collaboration. To date, OneHE Mindsets has organized a number of freely available online events which take the form of a webinar, fire chat, as Nisa explained, an interactive workshop. And those cover diverse topics such as information literacy online delivery approaches in COVID-19, students' online communities of learning, the design of learning to enhance metacognitive skills and harness virtual learning, and many more. You can find examples of freely available recorded events on our YouTube channel, OneHE Mindsets. So we want to also share some feedback from events we organized in the past, which is a testimony for the great caliber of speakers we have invited, but also the relevance and topical nature of the themes we examine. We would like to invite you also to share your own work with our community, as we know that there are some excellent projects that often only stay hidden within institutional silos. The way forward is sharing and collaboration if we empower each other with knowledge and awareness. So we wanted to share some of the other developments that are currently going on in the wider OneHE organization. And we are expanding to incorporate community-led micro-learning activities that will help to empower educators, practitioners, and students. And you'll see that there is already one of them has been developed for our OneHE Mindsets community. It's called Setting the Path to Online Communities of Learning. And also we want to extend again an open invitation to those of you interested to join the team and develop more resources. At the next phase, which is starting this year, we would like to engage our students more directly to create online resources in the form of booklets to empower and train other students who may require support to develop their information literacy skills, the digital creation skills, the digital research, how they communicate digitally with others, their digital innovation, learning and development, as well as how they manage the digital identity and the digital well-being. So we'd like to thank you very, very much for listening, and we look forward to your questions, discussions, and we hope to see you soon in our online Mindsets community. Bye-bye for now.